Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We're hoping that the stream is up and running. We're just going to double check we can hear myself too on it. It says that the stream is currently upcoming. Why are you not playing? It is currently upcoming. There we go, I can hear myself too now. That's even better still. Last week, of course, we had the unparalleled and upsetting instance where the KEW announcer, myself indeed, could not be heard. We do apologise for the technical issues that were unknown to us whilst the KEW broadcast was ongoing, and we will catch you up on all the action that you may have missed last week around in the KEW. We'll of course though get things kicked off early doors here. We'll see the battle for the heart of the Man Crusher, with the Torpedo taking on the Budget Magician. These two, of course, locked in a fierce and heated rivalry for the attentions of the Man Crusher. Last week, of course, the Man Crusher was in action against the KEW champion. We'll come back to that. Well, actually, no, we'll start there. Screw it. I'm in control. I'll do what I want, says the announcer. Me. Last week, of course, the Man Crusher took on the Assassin, not in a KEW championship match. She put on a pretty good display in that one, it must be said. And it was noted down by the KEW ownership. There were valiant efforts there, but came up short with the KEW champion successfully knocking off the Man Crusher. Of course, knocking one off too. The Man Crusher will be what these two men will be doing in the locker room after this one. But of course, after that match, we did have the return of the Demon, the Goliath of the KEW. The Shinigami re-emerged. The lights went out in the KEW arena. We thought it was Mark dicking around with a powerbox again. We suspected a Mark-based attack on the KEW champion. He's been attacking everyone who's above him in the KEW power rankings. So why wouldn't he, of course, attack the KEW champion as well? But no, it was the return of the Demon, who had appeared from the darkness, from his grave he'd been in for months. And he chokeslammed the life out of the KEW champion. And they will take each other on later this evening in a special guest referee match. So we'll see the KEW champ taking on the Demon in his return to ring action in the KEW, as the Budget Magician here with his clever tricks makes his way down to the ring. You can see there the cape in amongst the cummerbund. I still don't understand this magic trick myself. It bamboozles me every time I see him, and I'll never get my head round it, I fear. More things I'll never get my head round though. Of course, last week the Tange defeated controversially by the Firefighter. And the Firefighter in for the pinfall, as there goes the cape through the cummerbund. And much like that cape, it disappears seamlessly, was the referee's count and the referee's vision. The Tange reached out, grabbed the rope long before the referee's hand came down for a 3 count. The referee counted to 3, the bell rung, the match a sham, a farce. The Tange angry, annoyed, frustrated, and will be seeking to take revenge, I'm sure, against the Firefighter in what he called a sham matchup. We'll focus on action here though. It sees the little man taking on the Budget Magician in the steel cage here. You can win, of course, in the traditional pinfall way. The cage is just there for extra added punishment. Or you can, of course, escape the cage via the roof, climbing up and out of it. We also had last week as well the Forces of Darkness taking on the Men of Science individually, as it were, and the damage looking to be done to the Men of Science by the Coven early doors in that one. And we have to say that it is with sad tidings and sad news that it's another injury for Mr. Spikle the Spiklops in the KEW that's going to rule him out of the next main pay-per-view potentially, and may leave the Men of Science's tag team questionable for the future in the KEW. And Duchines, of course, was sent out against the Witchmother's favoured attack dog and failed to get a result in that one. You can see there, goes for the cover early doors. Didn't look like he had it convincingly at all there though, and comfortable kick out from the Torpedo. But of course the Ploughman was roundly routed by Duke Jeans last week as well in somewhat of a surprise fashion. We will have seen Duke Jeans taking on another member of the Coven later this evening, and Miss Tash in a last man standing match, with Miss Tash looking to do the damage in that one that will rule out the sent into the cage. Sorry, distracted there by the action in the ring. The Miss Tash looking to rule out the Men of Science entirely. They know that the KEW tag team titles will be on the line at next main pay-per-view, and it is a open battle in the tag competition, which with both the power couple in disarray, and if the Men of Science are out of things, well, that looks like a two-horse race there. Of course, the Falcon and the Eagle will be no more, with the announcement coming in that the KEW's main owner, the Giles Big Bird himself, is taking more of a backseat to proceedings. The Misfits know that that is a tag division that is wide open and theirs to dominate should they choose to. Oh, big kick there from the Torpedo, and there's been a few times early doors where I thought the Budget Magician had looked good here, but this is nasty. Oh, incoming low drop kick right into the cage there from the Torpedo, trying to break the ribs of the Budget Magician. We'll see these two in only a matter of days. Of course, they'll be taking each other on for the heart of the Man Crusher at the next main pay-per-view. They are fired up against each other here early doors, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Torpedo who is really coming out aggressive here for this one. He is out to defend his lady's honour well and truly, ladies and gentlemen. Reversal of fortunes potentially incoming for the Budget Magician. Under he goes, and then a big knee drive there. We did question whether it was sensible for these two to get in the cage with each other, so close to them taking each other on at the next main pay-per-view, but it was decided by the KEW's ownership that that would be a smart move and a smart thing to do. I'm just double checking briefly that we are still getting my audio playing through. Crisp and clear we are indeed, and that is good to know. I apologise for any double sound coming in there, ladies and gentlemen. A flip over from the Budget Magician. Under he goes now, and a big clothesline drives the Torpedo down to the mat. You can see he's gripping the chest now as well. You have to wonder what impact this result will have on either of these two men. Flips him over now and gets him in a figure four leg lock here. Looks like a surfboard variant of it, wrenching the body. Goodness, oh, and smashes the face into the ground. Disgusting play from the Budget Magician. Hooks the leg here. Here comes the count, slow and steady from the referee. Just a one though. The Torpedo there holding his chest there as his face was bounced off the ring mat by the Budget Magician. An aggressive start or aggressive middle to the match here from the Budget Magician, who's turned the fortunes around from the early suspectance here. He wants the referee to open the door. The referee opens the door, reluctantly takes the lock off it, but only for the Torpedo to catch him. Unbeknownst to the Budget Magician, you can of course walk out of the steel cage. The referee here checking if he needs to lock that cage back up or whether he should keep it open. He's keeping an eye on things. Maybe the Budget Magician was questioning the pace of the count from the referee. Now it's a big forearm to the head. You can see he's down and holding the head. Looks like he's in severe pain here, the Budget Magician. Maybe it's that drop kick early doors into the steel cage. He gets a reversal of fortunes there and slams the Torpedo down. I thought it might be a Torpedo driver incoming, but he manages to push the Budget Magician off at the last second here. He's going for the cage. That looks ill-timed to me. The Budget Magician's up to his feet, and he must have seen him coming for him there, and now rams him, kicks him off at the last second here. And can the Torpedo escape? Jumps down though. Now going back off the second rope here. A dazed and woozy Budget Magician in the centre of the ring. The crossbody goes for the pin. Just a one count there though, as the Magician kicks out thoroughly there, and a big stomp to the arm. Now has hold of him, goes for the arms again, trying to weaken the body of him. He's going to go to the corner. I wonder if he'll look to escape the cage or inflict punishment. It is punishment with a body slam there from the top rope. Rolls him over right to the spine. Goes for the cover. The referee slow again with the count. Just another one fall for the Budget Magician. I don't know how he's not got put away for the three, but this might be it here. If this is a Torpedo driver incoming, that's holding him from behind. It's not. It's the Fisherman's flip there. Goes for the cover. And the referee slow for the count again. 1, 2, 3, and that's enough to put it away for the torpedo. The damage done to the Budget Magician, you have to say. The question marks will be raised about whether he's able to compete in just a few short days. You can see the torpedo gripping his back as well. A real hard fought one there between the two of them. It is the little sinewy man who's coming out on top here, and he is ready to fight for his lady, and says, get the Budget Magician well away from the power couple. She's my lady. You're not having anything to do with her in the future here. A decent start to events here in the KEW this evening. Then we'll move to our next match for this evening, which will see the BFG taking on King Daddy. One for the ladies here then in the KEW. The BFG, of course, the hardcore champion, who will be fighting and defending his title in just a few short days against the Mystery, who is the #1 contender for the hardcore championship. And he is not putting his title on the line here, but is putting a modicum of respect on the line, if you like, by taking on King Daddy so close to his main pay-per-view event, you'd have to say. It is a bold move from the big man, but he's feeling confident and he's feeling up for it. He's rhythmically strolling down to the ring with his many ripples as the ladies in the front row get a full eyeful, and they're loving what they're seeing here. You can see there the ladies standing on their feet for their KEW hardcore champion. The men not so much enjoying him. A few little boos in the audience potentially as he lifts a finger high. And you can see the ladies on their feet for him. The men sitting in their chairs in protest almost. They don't want him having anything to do with their women in the audience. And here then comes his opponent for the evening. It will be King Daddy here, ready and raring to go for this one. He's a man who's had a long rest in the KEW. You've not seen him for a few weeks. He's taken some time off to deal with some child care issues. Of course, he is a man who has more children than championships in the KEW. Not difficult, being he's never had one championship, I guess. For the ladies, he is a charmer and a smooth talker when it comes to the ladies. Another one for them to watch around the ring. You can see many a man with their arms folded, trying to fend him off from their lady counterparts. King Daddy focused and ready for this one then. Not just an opportunity to move up the power rankings, but if he gets a victory over the hardcore champion, it will be a real feather in his cap. It is a championship that he's tried to be involved in the past. He has, of course, tried to get involved in the KEW championship conversation as well, but it hadn't had much joy there. Moved back to the hardcore rankings. It'll be interesting to see whether he's able to build a stretch of momentum here if he can get a win over the BFG. It is not looking like that early doors. So far, the hardcore champion has dominated proceedings since coming out of the locker room here. Squished his man early doors, and a big headbutt there, driven him down to the mat, onto the shoulder. He goes and now chokes the life out of him on the top rope there. There's more men in the front row than I'd expect for this one. Normally we see the ladies gather into the front row for the BFG. It looks like the men are there, and you can see a double thumbs down and a boos going on from the KEW fans for the hardcore champion. Maybe that's why he looks so focused here in this one. He's coming out and he's putting on a bit of a clinic here. King Daddy's barely got a shot in, and it's been all BFG early doors. Maybe this is a turn in fortunes that the BFG needs. He's got to be careful punching him in the gut there, though. He might lose a fist if it gets stuck. The double V's there from the BFG. He senses a victory incoming shortly. I'll have to agree with him so far on the proceedings we've seen from King Daddy as he lifts him up and slams him back first onto the KEW mat yet again. You'd have to think that if he's doing this damage early doors to the King Daddy, that it's only a matter of time before he lays the weight down on top of him and he won't be able to get his way out of it. Another swift hit there to the guts, but again the BFG, it's like he feels no pain when you hit him in the guts. Gets another shot to the stomach again, trying to maybe go for the intestinal region of the BFG, but he's swift back to his feet. Like I said, he feels no pain in that area. Scoops him up, spins him round, and we've seen this before, ladies and gentlemen. Slams him down on the spine, doing the damage to the back early doors. Like he had a little bit of a dance going on there as well, a bit of a shimmy Soft shoe shimmy from the BFG. Oh, went for the headbutt, but missed it that time. Maybe this is the break that King Daddy needed. Oh, but misses the crossbody there. The BFG stepping out of the way of it. And the King Daddy's slow start to this one is going to be his undoing. It looks like here. Oh, had him in a big vertical suplex, but slides his way out of it. Gets hold of the arms now from behind. And that's more uncomfortable. And a big headbutt to the spine of the BFG. That's the areas that he wants to work on, really. The back, which is used to support all that weight and mass. If he can really focus on that area, it might be where he can get some damage done. Diving off the apron there, back first onto the BFG, crushing him, winding him, potentially maybe trying to force some of that curried goat he had last night out of the system. And it's not going to be a pleasant experience if he does shift it out into those big oversized stretched huggies that he has on there. The BFG off the ropes now. Big clothesline drives King Daddy back down. It's the BFG back in the ascendancy in this one here after a little flurry of activity from King Daddy. He perhaps got back in the ring too early, thought he could get a count-out victory against the BFG, but it doesn't like it's going to work out that way at all. He slams his knee into the KEW mat there, and looks like King Daddy's got blood dripping from his head. I'm not so sure when he was cut open there, but the BFG must have bounced his noggin off the KEW mat too hard for him, and it's caused his skin to rupture. Thin skin potentially that the King Daddy has. It's the lack of sunlight that he gets in his homeland of Ireland as he rolls out under the KEW bottom rope. The BFG not letting him have a break though, has him on the outside, targeting the legs again. Furious assault to the knees with many elbows here, going after the structural base of King Daddy. He said it would be a good victory for him in the hardcore rankings if he was able to get it, but he doesn't like he's going to be able to as he's whipped down to the outside here. He's just collapsed there in front of the KEW faithful, and you can see the BFG looks roundly fired up for this one with a big clobbering forearm to the back of King Daddy. And lifts him high, and a big suplex on the outside as King Daddy grips his back. It's not a position King Daddy wants to be in. Oh, went for the big splash there on the outside, and that might be a reprieve for King Daddy. Oh, big punch to the guts and an uppercut there. He might have knocked out King Daddy might have knocked him out there. He is known for his bare knuckle boxing up to an 8 count as he climbs in the ring. A shot to the guts and an uppercut, and it looks like the BFG is out for the count here. Oh, he's slowly back to his feet, but it's got to be a count out victory here. A victory for King Daddy, who takes it at the last second with a vicious uppercut, you have to say. Look at this, mocking the BFG with the V for victory here. The blood dripping down his head. Well, a good win for King Daddy. He's fired up about it. A little bit controversial, you'd have to say, though. He points to him on the outside as well and says, "Don't mess with me." Well, I don't think the BFG will be taking a shine to King Daddy. He will have beef with him, I dare say, in the coming weeks in the KEW. We'll move to our next match for the evening, though. A last man standing match. We did tease this one earlier, of course, with Dude Jeans and Miss Tash. Yeah, very controversial ending to that one there. I did not see the BFG getting knocked out by an uppercut as the way that match was going to finish. But there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Just goes to show you've got to be switched on and alert at all times in the KEW here. It is what the KEW demands from its wrestlers and its fans. And we will see here, though, the majesty and might that is Dude Jeans as he boogers his way down to the ring, taking on his long-term adversary, Miss Tash. And of course fell out when they were part of the Teachers Union, which then became the Coven shortly afterwards, with Miss Tash being absorbed by the darkness. And Dude Jeans ever since has been at odds with her. It's been a rivalry that saw Dude Jeans sustain an injury earlier this season, and he'll look to avoid the same again here, if possible, in the last man standing match, so it can go any which way. And of course, the Coven will be here to support their lady in the ring, as it will be Miss Tash, supported by both the Witch Mother and the Tarantula, ready to go for this one. You'd have to say that the extra support on the edge of the ring may prove the difference here for the Coven. We have seen, though, Miss Tash disappoint against Do Jeans in the past, and that has led to her falling down the pecking order in the Coven rankings, if you like. Really, she had been almost a forgotten lady. It was the Ploughman who was the favoured attack dog, but with him being badly beaten last week by the opponent this evening, Do Jeans, you'd have to question if he's now slipped down the pecking order, and maybe the Tarantula is the new favoured attack dog, or maybe it is Miss Tash indeed who will be the favoured weapon, implement of destruction of this group. We of course have questions still as well about what's the relationship between Miss Tash and James the Cat. James the Cat of course has come out to the rescue and saviour of Miss Tash in the past, saving her from the ire of the Spikelops, and of course has been ringside with Miss Tash previously. He's been there to support her. Is it a relationship that's more than just student and teacher? Has James the Cat succumbed to something far darker, I think, is the main question on everyone's minds in the KEW. We know they'll be involved in the tag team open battle coming up at the next main pay-per-view. The question is, which of those athletes will be competing for the Coven in the tag divisions? Do Jeans fired up and ready to go for this one then. He knows the last man standing match with extra help on the outside will be a tough contest for him, but he's been in good form in the KEW. Miss Tash has really struggled to get out of first gear for basically her entire KEW career, save a brief stint as tag team champion as part of the Teachers Union with that man who she's in the ring with currently, as he lifts her onto the top rope and drops her neck first. This is a competition to knock somebody out here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget, as Do Jeans goes straight under the ring for a kendo stick, but Miss Tash has surely seen that coming. There you go, disarms him swiftly there, and brings him around for a knee to the guts, driving him down. You can see the Witch Mother applauding that one in the corner, and you have to question whether the two on the outside will look to get involved as she early doors attacks the neck here, taking the time to take in the appreciation of the KEW fans. You'd have to question whose moveset better suits this environment, whether it be the high kicks from the soft loafers of Miss Tash, but it looks like she's got a game plan early doors to attack the head and the neck of Do Jeans. And you'd have to question whether it was smart of Do Jeans. Look like there he caught the kendo stick right in the back. Whether it was smart of him to accept this challenge here, I guess he sees it as a opportunity to level the playing field. His tag team partner might be out, but if he can take out a member of the Coven, well, that might well limit them in the open tag battle. Big shot to the guts there, and the kendo stick whipped down close to Do Jeans as he now crawls out to the apron and gets slowly back to his feet as Miss Tash goes to try and get the hit in, but he blocks it off at the last moment and climbs back inside the ring. Good awareness there from Do Jeans. Well, it looked like he was going to try and toss her over, but he's been caught here and now has the arm in trouble. She looks like she's got him there. Big shot to the shoulder in the back again, trying to do the damage early doors. And that kendo stick still poised in the ring there in the corner of the ring. You can see it into the far corner. Oh, goes Miss Tash into the uncovered turnbuckle. That must have been one of the members of the Coven there uncovering that turnbuckle. She smartly rolls out of the ring next to them, though, tries to climb the turnbuckle, though, and doesn't get any joy there, and now sent into that corner again, and this is going to do severe damage. That shot there might have driven the back of her head into that uncovered ring post, and now he's going for the kendo stick while she's unconscious in the corner. You can see the tarantula here up. She's taking another corner turnbuckle off here. Well, she wants more punishment to be inflicted, but at the moment Miss Tash has got to get up, and there she goes. Gets the kendo stick off of Do Jeans at the last second, twirls him around and sends him down head first, and she should surely look to work either corner there of the exposed ring turnbuckles. Into the corner he now goes, and driving him down sternum first into that ring cover there, the ring post, sorry, the uncovered metal part as he rolls out of the ring, climbs back in, but Miss Tash has had time to stay fresh. Caught a little flush there, though, as he gets a clothesline down to the ground from Do Jeans, who just looked more awake and with it, climbing back to his feet much faster. And Miss Tash, who drives him into the other uncovered turnbuckle, and surely the referee's got to do something about this. Sooner or later, we've got two uncovered turnbuckles, both at the hands of the covered members, and it's going to surely be weakening the resolve of Dude Jeans. It's only going to be a matter of time, really. If she keeps driving him into those corners, he can't survive for much longer. Here, onto the shoulder he goes now, drop neck first, winding him again. Another big shot to the head as well as he's slow back to his feet. He goes into a protected corner this time, but only to get a furious couple of chops there, and now being choked again. Maybe this is the plan, try and wind the life out of him. If you can wind him, then surely he's not going to get the oxygen into the brain, and that might be enough to polish him off. Big bulldog there, slamming the head into the floor, and he's down here. This might be down for the 10 count as well. I said about driving the oxygen out of the brain, and that won't have helped as he's now back to his feet. That looks like a silly move from him. They managed to catch Miss Tash at the last minute, but she drives him into the ring post, and again driving the air out of the lungs. She knows if she cuts the oxygen supply to the brain, then Dude Jeans is not going to have enough left, momentum wise or in terms of being able to recover to get up from this one. We're up to a 6 count already here. She points to the KEW faithful. It's a fast count from the referee, makes an 8 before Dude Jeans gets back to his feet. Oh, she went for the kick and missed it completely. You can see there the tarantula didn't like the look of that one as she completely whiffed the kick, and Dude Jeans now pulls the leg down and sweeps her down to the floor. I think that might have been good night for Dude Jeans if he'd had that soft sandal to the top of the cranium though, and you'd have to question whether that would have been enough to inflict a concussion. A big shot to the head there, again driving Dude Jeans backwards. More furious hits to the head as she gets hold of the head, and the scissors now spins him around and whips him down, doing the damage to the spine, and he's down for the counts again. Only a 1 there as she picks him back up to his feet. She might look to end things swiftly here though, rests him on the KW ropes here. Oh, big elbow though at the last second from Dude Jeans to get him out of it. That might be the momentum shifter that he desperately needed in this one. Kick to the guts. And not the spike DDT, there it is, a spike DDT. He might have delivered a concussion of his own. Shows off to the KW faithful. We're on a 2 count 3. Can Miss Tash recover in time here? Dude Jeans looks a little distracted by the rest of the cover members on the outside there. He's boogieing around in circles here, a disco circle you'd have to say. Now showing off to the KW fans, up to an 8 count, and Miss Tash slow back to her feet, only to get a bulldog straight to the face again. Both competitor going for the concussion tactics here. It looked like the referee had already counted 1, up to a 2 now, 3, and the KW is in dismay at what they're seeing here. Both athletes trying to dish out concussions, a rare sight. It's not often we see this in the KW, ladies and gentlemen. Another shot there from Dude Jeans, driving Miss Tash back to the floor as the count starts again. Dude Jeans celebrating in the ring, up to a 6 count now, a 7. She looks like she's down and out, an 8, and now she's slowly back to her feet. Claps from Dude Jeans. He turns his back though and gets a clothesline to the back of the head for his troubles. Down to the KW mat he goes. She picks him up at a 2, deciding that more punishment is needed. Has hold of him here, and another driving bulldog, slamming the face off the floor. Now she looks like she's ready to put this away. Is it going to be the big kick to knock him out for good? There it is, the kick to the cranium, and now surely he's got to be out for the count. She climbs out of the ring. She doesn't know why she's done with the punishment here. Climbs back in, maybe just taking the time to mock her opponent here. Up to a 5 count as she takes in the revelry of the KW fans. Surely Dude Jeans is not going to recover from this one. Oh, she's wiping her feet disrespectfully. On to a 9, and he gets to his feet somehow. How did he have anything left in the tank to get up here? Bang into the corner again off that unprotected ring corner. The referee, I'm surprised he's not put the covers back on that. Back starts the referee's count here though. Now it looks like she's shouting at him to stay down after this one. Looks like he might have caved in his chest here. He's surely got to have rib damage, and you can see there the Witch Mother thought that one was over there, pounding on the matting as he's DDT'd into the floor again, and the damage to the head's got to be significant now for Dude Jeans. If it's not the damage to the head, it's got to be the damage to the chest. He must be sucking on vapours, basically, barely getting any air into those lungs, and the amount of times he's been bounced out of that corner, but again he's back up to his feet, and again he's back in the fight. He's got to be running purely on adrenaline at this point. Spins the Miss Tash around there, drives her into the floor, and the referee starts to count for Miss Tash. This one's a real back and forth affair. You'd have to say that as long as Duke Jeans doesn't turn his back here, maybe that's what Miss Tash is trying to play possum and wait for him to turn his back, a slow down in the count, and realises that the back turn's not coming, rolls out of the way there, but only gets a shot to the face for her troubles, and a big Russian leg sweep there drives her down to the ground. And look at this, furious punches on the floor from Duke Jeans, now trying to get Miss Tash to stay down, and she looks like she might be out for the count. She doesn't look like she knows what day of the week it is. Her head's rolling around on the KEW mat there, only a 4 count there. I'm still a little surprised about that. She's again swift back to her feet, but she's only going to meet the referee. I thought she was going to hit the corner turnbuckle, and now the two of them exchanging blows in the centre of the KEW ring here. And there's Miss Tash who's trying to get the upper hand, blocks one there, but another one blocked by Duke Jeans, and a big shot from him. She went for a big shot there, in turn has her own blocks, shots blocked, and a big smash to the back drives her down. And now if that snap DDT comes in from Duke Jeans, that might be enough to put it away. But is he going to go to the top and look for the moonsault here? You have to worry about the two on the outside, but he's ready to put it away. But the moonsault lands it swiftly onto Miss Tash. It's going to reset the count. He maybe didn't need to do that, but now look at this, you can see the tarantula distracting him on the outside, but that might be enough to have put Miss Tash away. She looks like the air's been crushed out of her lungs. If you haven't got the air and you're not getting the oxygen to your body, you're not going to get back up in a hurry, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a victory for Duke Jeans, and there it is. You can see Miss Tash back to her feet and looks wary at the 10 count, but the damage was done. Duke Jeans able to get the victory, and you have to question how much damage was done to Miss Tash there with the uncovered turnbuckles, and both athletes bounced off it. He boogied his way into the KEW's power rankings and moving on up in those standings, I dare say. A solid victory for that man. He's one-handedly taking on the Coven currently. We've got to wonder how much it's drawing the ire of the Coven and how much they're going to target him in the coming weeks. We've seen it before, and then it's led to an injury for him. We'll move now to our final match for the evening then, and big news coming down from this one. It is a special guest referee match that will see the Shinigami taking on the Assassin, the KEW champion. Both men will be accompanied by a manager in this one, and the special guest referee is of course the firefighter himself, who almost everyone in the ring will have beef with. The firefighter will want a shot for the KEW title. And while he keeps his shirt on for this one, he has his charming hat on. He is ready and raring to go here. You can notice noticeably he normally has the KEW logo on that hat. He does not have the logo on there this evening, perhaps out of protest at the way he's been treated by the KEW officials or by the KEW fans, bringing into question and disrepute his win over the Tange last time around. And like I said, big news coming down from the CEO from this one. All 5 men involved in this match, managers and all, they will be in the KEW title match at the pay-per-view at the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. As here comes the Shinigami here as he rolls off the bench, brought to life by the electric. We saw him last week, of course, make his successful return to the KEW, choke slamming the Assassin, the KEW champion. So his manager there, you can see manager in inverted commas, really he's just here at ringside to cause havoc. It will be the Skeleton King accompanying him in his corner. We've seen the Skeleton King and the Demon tag before in matches against the Tange and Benji, and it will be the Tange in the corner of the Assassin trying to keep the Skeleton King in check. It was of course announced that the Skeleton King would be ringside for this one when he heard that the special guest referee would be the firefighter. He has of course had his dealings with the firefighter and thought the firefighter had an unjust victory over him where he slid in the ring at the 10 count. Action replays show that his arms were not under the ropes, of course. He disputes this, calls it fake news, and claims that he should have had the opportunity to get a proper rematch against the firefighter, which of course he had the following week, and he lost that as well, but he disputes the nature of that one. And here the assassin will be accompanied by the Tange, who is ringside here. He has dealings with basically everybody else who's going to be involved in this one. He of course was defeated by the KEW champion last week, or the week previous, in his KEW title match, when again he saw that the special guest referee would be the new number 1 contender, the firefighter. He knew he had to be ringside for this one as well, to make sure that the refereeing wasn't as dodgy and corrupt as it was in his match against the firefighter, where he clearly got a hand on the rope. And you'd have to question if the firefighter has been brought into legion with that man there, with the KEW champion. His former tag team partner, of course, has pretty much retired from the KEW. So you do question, with the breakup of the safety men, is there a potential alliance brewing between the assassin and the firefighter? You wouldn't have thought so, given that both men want the KEW championship, but one holds it, the other one wants it. But there is a 5-man match coming up later, or coming up in the main pay-per-view, that will prove to see if there is a alliance going on between those two men in the ring. Lifted high, and slammed immediately down. Early cover there for a 2 count, perhaps a fast count from the firefighter there, as the Shinigami has started the earlier here. We've seen the assassin, of course, start slow. He started slow against the man crusher, and this is not an opponent you want to start slow against here, as he's headbutted down to the ground. And again an early cover from the Shinigami. A fast count there, it seemed, from me as well. Just another 2. Early doors, the Shinigami, he looks fully rested and recovered. Of course, he was put in the grave by the Tange, who is ringside for this one, and maybe that's motivating him even more for this event, for this evening. We haven't seen him in the KEW since he was put in the grave by the Tange, but you can see he's fired up and come flying out of the gates early doors as a snap DDT goes for the cover from the assassin. Well, that looks like a little slower of a count to me, as he rolls out of the ring here, and you can see Mark's going up to the apron. He's taking the top turnbuckle off here. It wasn't needed, that level of involvement, and immediately the firefighter goes over to fix it, but the referee's back is turned here, and what mischief is going to occur in the ring? Big shot there from the Demon, and look at this, he's choking him, and big shot there, goes for the cover. Well, Mark might have cost his man. He spins around quickly though, gets a 1 count before he kicks out, but that was definitely at least a 3, it seemed, with the fast way that the referee has been counting. A Mark with his hands on his hips, and Tange, you can see, watching on. He doesn't really want to get involved in this one. You'd have to feel he's probably happy to watch on from the outside and know and see where he can get the victory, maybe thinking to himself, how did I lose to the assassin? I've beaten the Shinigami, and he's absolutely dominating this one here. Just a 1 count there that time, perhaps a slower beat for the referee there. And the Shinigami gets hold of the assassin, whips him in the ropes. Big backdrop though, as the KEW champion finds himself in real problems here. Went for the running backdrop and missed it completely. The first real mistake from the Shinigami, as he's now sent in the ropes, and under he goes, the assassin, over as well, and goes for the drop kick, but caught at the last second there. Stomping on the chest is the Shinigami, stomping the air out of the lungs of the assassin. And the firefighter in the way, well and truly here. What's he doing here? He's got completely in the way as Mark slides a bat in the ring, and the referee looks like he might have seen it immediately, but he's just standing next to the bat now, takes it up, and now he's looking at Mark and he's not happy with his involvement here. Slides the bat out of the ring, out of the way. Big neck breaker there, drives the firefighter, the assassin, drives the Shinigami down to the floor. Now the shots to the head as the assassin maybe looks to come to life in this match, maybe a bit faster than he had done previously. It had been all Shinigami. Furious hits there as he drives him back into the corner, as the Tange and Mark watch on from the outside. And this is more of what the Tange would have expected, I'm sure. The running bulldog from the corner goes for the cover here. Slow again from the firefighter. You'd have to say he's definitely counting faster for the Shinigami, it appears, in this one. Lifts the challenger up and slammed down by the KEW champion. The KEW champion will Look at this, he's got distracted by Mark. Mark's, look at that, he's pointing and he's having words with him. The referee's back is turned up to a 1 count here, and the Shinigami catches him out from behind. Mark well and truly getting involved in this one, disrupting the flow and the rhythm of the match, getting in the referee's head, getting in the head of the assassin, which is very important here, not only for the Shinigami, but for the assassin, knowing that he can be so easily distracted. Chance, I'm sure, will be taking scrupulous notes here about how both men are performing, how easily distracted the assassin was, and I'm sure Mark will as well, with all 5 of these men taking each other on inside the Fatal 5-Way for the KEW Championship. It will be pivotal to know how anyone reacts to any type of chicanery here. You can see already that Mark obviously is more than happy to disrupt things. And Tanj now watching on the outside. He doesn't want to get involved with the Demon, but I'm sure the Demon is focused on the task at hand, but putting on a clinic right in front of the Tanj will be more than happy to do that. And Tanj now walking around, getting a good view of things, trying not to get involved, or maybe trying to stay on the blind side of the Shinigami so he doesn't really draw his rage. We're up to an 8 count as he slides in the ring, and now the Shinigami slides in after the assassin, but he catches him with a rogue elbow and a big clothesline, drives him down, and another one here. Maybe this is the shifting momentum the assassin needed as he sweeps a leg, and down he goes. A little cheer to the fans, but the Demon is up fast, gets hold of the assassin. Oh, but he's chokeslammed him across the ring himself. It looked like a reversal of fortunes there. It looked like the Shinigami went for the chokeslam, but the assassin reversed it around and chokeslammed him down. He's gone for the cover, and Mark's distracting the referee. The referee looks like he's telling Mark to go to the locker room, slow with the count, and the Shinigami kicks out before it's even a 1. The referee distracted by Mark, and again, look at this. It's more talk from Mark. He's got himself ejected from the KW side, but it is another pinfall, and the referee has missed it again. Mark has well and truly distracted the referee here. The assassin had this one twice, and the referee has allowed himself, the firefighter, completely caught up in things with Mark on the outside, and Mark there proving the distraction that I'm sure the Shinigami will be happy for. He doesn't care that he's not ringside anymore. All he cares is that he didn't get pinned and lose the match here. Picks up the assassin. Oh, the Demon's Kiss goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and it's a controversial victory for the Shinigami. He was well and truly beaten by the assassin. The referee didn't see it, distracted by Mark, reversed the fortunes of the match, pulls out a demonic kiss, and down goes the KW champion. Goodness gracious me, you'd have to wonder if an alliance is forming between those two, and whether they will look to team up in the Fatal 5-Way. I'm sure the Demon will say, if it comes between the two of us, you're going to ride my chokeslam. But goodness me, ladies and gentlemen, would be a real slobber knocker, you'd have to say. Thank you for watching this episode of KEW Live, and join us next time around for the next main pay-per-view of the calendar, and we'll see if there will be a changing of the guard in our championship matches. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.